This is Ball's Bluff. We are looking at a small battle that took place in late 1861, October of that year. Significant largely because, it was actually north of the national capital. The fighting you tend to think of in the Civil War, with the exception of a couple of large battles later, all happened in Virginia, south of the national capital. Here, we're upriver from Washington.
In Ball's Bluff battlefield, you can take a path out to the bluff, 85 feet over a narrow beach along the Potomac. You can stand where Union troops stood exhausted after fighting a whole day. And as the sun began to set, as their water was gone, as their bodies shook with exhaustion and starvation, they heard fresh Southern troops and a colonel with leather lungs give the message to charge. Mississippians, forward, charge, and push the damn Yankees into the Potomac or into hell. And you can imagine as those fresh troops crashed into the exhausted New Englanders with nowhere to go but almost straight down 85 feet on a bluff. What an agonizing moment that must have been for them. Men slid down, jumped down, crashed down, some on top of each other, some on top of each other's bayonets, and then on a beach way too narrow for hundreds of men. Most of them took the only obvious next step. Despite heavy equipment, nearly 40 pounds of it, they jumped into the Potomac. If you stood on top of that bluff, as some of the Confederates did, you could watch as Union soldiers floundered in the water and finally went below the waves.
One of the things that brought this battle home to Northerners, particularly the folks around Washington, is the fact that there were bodies, many Union bodies, that floated downriver. A lot of men were killed trying to swim the river across to Harrison's Island. Over the next few days, even next few weeks, many of them washed up along the pilings and bridge abutments down near Washington. So a fairly gruesome reminder of the defeat.
Today, when you visit Ball's Bluff, you can have a guide. There's a trail system with signs that give you a feel for some of the units, some of the people that were there, and that tell you of some of their experiences. And one of the most poignant moments is to stand in a small walled cemetery.
The cemetery is the third smallest national cemetery in the country. It's very small. It's only less than 50 feet square.
History is, as often is said, it's around every corner, but it's almost preposterously so in Loudoun County.